Do you often have critical customer requests in Jira that are assigned to someone who is not working at the moment? Are you using Tempo to plan your capacity, but do you feel that's not very useful for planning time off? My name is Björn Döhler, I'm the co-CEO at Resolution, and I'm very excited to announce that we have just released a brand new integration for Tempo customers. And that will solve all your collaboration problems with absent team members. In this video, we are going to show you how to integrate Tempo Timesheets and Tempo Planner with Out-of-Office Assistant to make sure that work continues to flow in your teams, no matter who is off. With the integration, every time you plan non-billable time, you can activate backup plans so somebody else in the team is automatically in charge of your issues and approvals. But before we go into the actual tutorial, let me go over the main options that Out-of-Office Assistant gives you. What you need to ask yourself is, what should happen to issues that are assigned to a user who is not working? The app can post out-of-office messages as comments in Jira issues. Absent assignees are shown in the Jira issue glance. Issues can be reassigned to one or more coverers, including unassigned. Or Jira Service Management approvals can be delegated to somebody else. There are so many options. Well, with the integration, defining what should happen is only done once. After that initial setup, Tempo plans automatically create new rules with whatever you have defined. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's have a quick look at the data flow of the integration. There are 4 entities that come together. 2 on the side of Tempo plans and internal issues. And 2 on the side of Out-of-Office, templates and rules. You already know plans and Tempo. They are just that. Estimates in the future of how much time you will spend on some activity. They are usually measured in increments of hours. They have a start and an end date, and they to include some type of activity that you are planning. Internal issues are used in Tempo to define non-billable time. That is time that users plan to spend outside of the productive projects, like vacation, sick time, parental leave, or trainings. This means that if you want to plan non-billable time, you just add an internal issue to a plan instead of adding a project or a regular task. On the side of Out-of-Office, rules and templates are very similar. Both of them define what happens when an issue is assigned to a user who is out of office. As we have seen, this can mean posting out-of-office messages, reassigning tasks, or delegating approvals. But there are some differences between out-of-office rules and out-of-office templates. Rules have a start and an end date, and templates don't have dates. Also, templates have names, so that they are easy to remember, and rules don't. So what happens when you plan time off with Tempo? You've set up an out-of-office integration. Basically, for every new plan for an internal issue like sick day, out-of-office, looks at which out-of-office templates are mapped to that internal issue. And it will simply create one out-of-office rule for each template. In this case, it's just a template called reassign for triage. The new rule will have the same dates as a Tempo plan, and you will have every detail from the parent template. If the issue is mapped to more than one template, then the integration will create one simultaneous rule for each of them. Now that you know how everything comes together, it's time to start setting it up. First, we look at the admin setup, which is about connecting and selecting the internal issues. Once those issues become available in Out-of-Office, we'll see how each user can map their own templates to them. First, we need to set up the connection. You will need admin rights for this task. We will first go to Tempo, open the settings, and click on the options API integration. Let's create a new token here and name it to something like Out-of-Office Assistant. We also need to give a duration. If you're testing, you'll be fine with a couple of days. But for a robust integration, I suggest going into a full year, if not even more. Then copy the token, note that Tempo will never show this token again, and paste it somewhere if you're not going to use it immediately. Now, let's go into Out of Office. Go to User Administration and click the Connect with Tempo button. You'll be asked to pass the token. There you go. Now, Out of Office has access to the Tempo API. Let's start adding the internal issues. This model loads all existing internal issues, and you only have to decide which ones to pick. I'm going to select all of them. And that's it. That's all the admin has to do. It's now up to each user to define their own handovers for whenever they are not on duty. Users have to go to the Integration tab in Out of Office. After the admin has set up the connection, the Tempo icon activates, and users can click on the Configure button. Here we can add templates to the internal issues. Click on the Add Template button next to each internal issue. You will prompt it to create a new template or add an existing one. This table shows the main C template details: name, whether coverers have been selected, whether there are approver or coverers, or out of office messages. Let's pick an existing template. For example, long vacations. This template will reassign every incoming issue to Agneta and share a note about my long vacations. Okay, it's added to vacations. Now, when I try to add more templates, I see that some of them can't be picked. This is because they have the same scope than a template that is already met. In this case, they are valid for all projects. But I can still pick a template that applies to a single project. This will work as an exception to all project rules, and it will delegate approvals. What am I going to with sick time and fun work? Very often it will be fine with applying the same template like this. Let's add a new template to fun work. I want to make sure that service requests are triaged and then reassigned manually. Let's add a new template to fun work. I want to make sure that service requests are triaged and then reassigned manually. Now, the first thing I want to do is name the template. The name must be unique. Note, there are no dates here. We just need to decide what happens when the plan comes in from Tempo. It's really important to decide carefully to which projects or issues will the template apply. So I'm going to create a JQL filter. In this case, I only want the template to be triaged for services request, no matter in which project. And I can see that there are no services requests currently assigned to me. Next, you have to define what the rule will do. In this case, I want a single coverer to triage everything that's assigned to me. I will pick up admin for that. Next, I will type a message to warn my colleagues that I won't be personally taking care of this. Let's save that. And the template will be immediately added to the internal issue. I can click on the template link to make any changes. For example, I may realize admin shouldn't be triaging, but rather Agenta. And then I pick admin instead for my regular coverage. That looks like a plan. Note that long vacations changed for every internal issue. To review every template, you can click on See All Templates. Here is the full list. In this table, you can also add new templates, edit existing templates, or delete them. But for example, I can't delete long vacations, since it's currently being used in 3 internal issues. Let's go back to mapping. Now, every time a plan comes in from Tempo for these internal issues, each of the templates will generate one rule with the dates coming from the plan. It's time to see the integration in action. Let's start in Tempo again. We will show how to plan non-billable time both in Tempo Timesheets and Tempo Planner. I'm going to create a plan for July 3rd in Tempo Timesheets. I hover over the date. I make sure to select the plan time. Select the internal issue. In this case, I pick vacations. You can also extend it to more days. Just check the period checkbox and add an end date. Oh, and I forgot to add it. But I like it when there is a description on my holidays in there. Makes people jealous. Next, remember to define the duration. If you want out-of-office rules to be active for the entire day, pick at least 8 hours. And then just hit Add Plan. The plan is added to the timesheet. And the corresponding rules show in out-of-office. Besides the details defined in the template, you will see the same dates as the plan. The start time and end date in this case are midnight, because the plan has a duration of 8 hours and out-of-office takes this as the equivalent of a full day. The internal issue that was used in the plan and the template that originate each rule. In this case, you can see the plan has generated 2 rules because vacation is mapped to 2 different templates: delegate approvals and long vacations. The status of the rule either active or scheduled. Plans change. They can be extended, shortened or cancelled altogether. I can also pick up durations of less than 8 hours. In summary, any changes in the plan will propagate to out-of-office. Let's see it. I'm going to change dates of my trip to Kenya and make start next week. So I hover over the plan to edit it. Push the start date for a week. And save. Now the plan is not showing in my week. And the changes will update in the out-of-office rules. I can wait or just click on Refresh Tempo Rules and the new details will be there. In Planner, you can do exact the same things with a bit of a different UI. Let's go there for a quick review in a case you haven't seen it before. On the left, you can see the existing plans and which items they are planned against. Making changes is really easy. You can just drag the plan dates like this. You can also delete the plan or split it. Or you can drag the entire plan to a different time range. To create new plans, click in the tile of the day you want to plan for and you will call the same form. In planning, you can create plans for other users as well, if you have the permissions to do. Let's see how that looks like. I'm going to just add a plan for admin. You can go to his row, but the form also allows to pick any other users right here. Ed didn't come in today. He's very sick, so I'm going to set him off for the entire week. And now, after I create the plan, if I go to the user view and out of office, I see that admin has a tempo rule that will reassign every issue to agenda for triage. If you want, you can also create shorter plans. For example, I can take the afternoon off. I create a plan today from 12 to 5. And I can also create only a morning shift off for the next week because I'll be working on a side project. In out of office, I see a rule for July the 5th, which is today from noon until 5 p.m. And I scheduled a rule from the 10th until the 14th, only from 8 a.m. until noon. So now you have seen how flexible this integration is and how it can benefit your company. For current customers of Tempo, it is a great addition for creating backup plans and making sure no critical issue slips through the cracks, no matter who is missing. For current customers of out of office, Tempo provides a beautiful and powerful intuitive UI for planning every absence. Managers can also create plans on behalf of others, and those backup plans can be as detailed as you wish. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, add the bell, and have a look at the apps in the Atlassian Marketplace. Thanks for watching.